With the help of Hashem, we are learning Lekutei Sichos, Chelek Yud Aleph, Ki Sisa Aleph. In Chelek Yud Aleph, we are going to page 139. This is an amazing Rashi Sicha based on a pasuk that we have in Parshas Ki Sisa, Perek Lamed Beis, pasuk Dalid. And let's start right away learning inside the Parshaseinu Mesupar. It's related in our Parsha. After Aaron told the Bnei Yisrael, Porku nizmei hazav v'goymer v'haviu elai v'goymer v'yoviu al Aaron. So after the Yidden gave to Aaron the raw material, the gold, so it says in the pasuk, Vayikach mi yodam, Aaron took it from their hands, Vayotzar oisoi bacheret. And as we will be learning now, Rashi on these words, that these words could be understood in two different ways, so we will now not interpret these words. Vayaseyu, and he made it into a egel masecha, into a molten calf goymer. The question is, what do the words vayotzar oisoi bacheret mean? Both, what does the word vayotzar mean and what does the word bacheret mean? Perish Rashi, and here the Sicha is quoting the words in Rashi. Vayotzar oisoi bacheret. Zokt Rashi, yesh letargemoi. There are those who you could interpret these words bishtei panim in two different ways. Ha echad, option number one, vayotzar lashon kshira. Vayotzar means binding. And if vayotzar means to bind, so bacheret would mean, bacheret means in a scarf, lashon suder. In other words, Ahar and Chevra took the golden raw material and he tied it in a scarf. Kemoi, and Rashi brings a source, a proof from a pasuk in Yeshaya, vahamitpachos, and the cloaks, vahacharitin. Vacharitim is in the plural of cheret is charitin, and the scarves. Then Rashi brings another proof, another source, and here he's bringing a pasuk in Melachim. This is important because one of the questions will be, Melachim comes before Yeshaya. Rashi should have brought the raya first from Melachim and then from Yeshaya. And here he goes in the opposite order. Vayotzar kikrayim kesef, and he fashioned and he bound kikrayim kesef, 2 talents of silver, b'shnei charitim, in 2 scarves. 2 psukim in which, true, in both of these psukim, it's written in the plural, but the shoirish is cheret, meaning a scarf. Ve'habeis, in other words, scarf means that he tied them right in, he bound them in scarves. Vahabeis, the second interpretation of these words, vayotzar, is loshen tzura. He formed, from yitzira. Bacheret, cheret refers to a klei umanois, a tool, an instrument, hatzoirfim, that are used by goldsmiths, with which shechoritzin, right, they engrave, vechoritin, and they carve with it tzurais bazahav, different images in gold. Whole different meaning. No, it's not that Aaron took the gold and he tied them, he bound them in a scarf. No. Aaron actually engraved in the gold an image. And then the Rashi goes weiter. Ke'eit soifer, like a scribe's pen, ha'choyred, that engraves oisius letters, baluchais u pein kasim, in tablets, and in registers. Kemoi, like, and here Rashi brings a pasuk, uksoiv olav becheret enosh. This is a pasuk in Yeshaya, all right, and write upon it with the engraving tool of man. Vaiter Rashi, v'zeu shetirgem Onkelos, and this is what Onkelos interprets on these words, vayotzar oisoi bacheret. And here he quotes the words of Onkelos, that vitzar yosei bezifa, and he fashioned it with a graving tool, lashon ziyuf, who klei umanois, it refers to a craftsman's tool, shechortzen boy, that he uses to carve in gold letters, oisius, ushkedim. Shkedim does not mean almond. Shkedim means different images, different figures. This tool is called B'lashon Amzara Niol or Niol. Umezayfen al Yadai Chaysamois, and they forge seals through the mean of this tool and of Rashi. A lot in the second interpretation. So says the Rebbe. But we have to understand the following. Aleph, number one, halo you do what's known, haklal, the rule, the peirush Rashi ala Torah, and kimedubar kamapamim, as the Rebbe spoke out many times, the bechol makim shehu omer beis or yoser perushim being an echad. Whenever Rashi brings more than one interpretation, two or more. Why does Rashi bring more than one? There's a reason for that. Because there's a challenge and a question on one interpretation that is resolved by bringing the other. And then likewise, why didn't he just bring the other? Because there's another question on the other that is only resolved if you go with the first. Each one of these interpretations is understood. And it's properly, it properly addresses the meaning of the pasuk. Don't forget that in every words in the Torah you can have two. There's Shivim Panim La Torah. And that Arizal writes that there are 600,000 interpretations. Rashi brings down more than one for a reason. Number one, what's the reason? That's one. Number two, base. Hagdamas Rashi lepirushe elo. Rashi gives an intro. And now the Rebbe is quoting the words of Rashi, Yesh letargamai b'shnei panim. That these words can be interpreted two ways. Asks the Rebbe, why does Rashi have to intro that this could be interpreted two ways? If the Rashi wouldn't have written that, if Rashi simply would have written both ways, you would count it, you would know two ways. Why does he have to write the number? Question number 3, Gimel. That haloshen b'chayoytze boy ha'echad v'hasheni. When Rashi gives again an intro for each one, way number 1, and then the interpretation number 2. Who built iragel b'peirush Rashi? It's an unusual expression. Kiim, right? K'moshe Kosov. The take of a miyad in these Rashis. If you're going to look inside these Rashis, we just read Rashi, Divrei HaMaschil, Vayotzar. But the next Rashi, Divrei HaMaschil, Egel Masecha, there Rashi also brings two interpretations. And how does Rashi premise the second one? By using the words V'yesh Oimrim, not Echad V'sheni. The next Rashi afterwards, Masecha, Rashi there also brings more than one interpretation. And Rashi premises or prefaces the second one by saying the words Davar Acher, which is, these are the more common ways of Rashi bringing down a second interpretation, either V'yesh Oimrim or Davar Acher. Why does Rashi here write Ha'echad v'hasheni? Question number 4, Dalid, Ma'watam the first interpretation that teaches the words Vayotzar oisai b'acheret, that Aaron tied the gold in a scarf. Why does Rashi have to bring two verses, one from Yeshaya, one from Malachim? And furthermore, Shemeviyam b'seder hafach. Rashi brings them in the opposite order. Haraya mi-Yeshaya, and then Rashi brings the Raya from the pasuk in Malachim, when in parentheses the Sefer Malachim comes before the Sefer of Yeshaya. Question number 5. Rayazu shemevi misifrei neviim. That what? That cheret is a lashon of a sudar of a scarf. Omizeh sheba yotzar is from the word of kshir of binding. Harei yachol. Rashi could have, and therefore the Rebbe writes in parentheses u'b'meilot tzarich hoya lavia mipsukim sheba chumash. You can prove this from the Chumash. Ubefrat shekfar lamadnum. Not only from the Chumash after Sisa, from verses that we had before, that someone who's learning Chumash for the first time already learned them. Number 1 in Parshas Miketz, when you have the pasuk tzuroir kaspai, bundle of money, a bundle tzuroir. Uperish Rashi kesher kaspai. Right? A tied bundle of money. Number 2, in Parshas Boy, also before Parshas Kisisa, when it says Tzururais bisim loisam, bound up in their clothes, again, bound up. And then the Rebbe writes in the bracket, when in Parshas Boy, Rashi doesn't even have to interpret the meaning of Tzururais. Why? So we already know that from the word Tzaroir, from the word Tzururais, Harei Muchach Sheva Yotzar, same root, means binding. So Bechlal, we didn't need not Malachim nor Yeshaya. Number 6, L'chu'ura, in the second Perush, Kol HaHemshech, from the words Ke'eit Soifer, HaChoyret Oisias, all of these words. Ad Soifer Shel Dibur Zeh Meyuter, it's extra. Ma'ina moving V'dorish Bir Noisav, what is not understood with what Rashi already said in the Perish Habeis, that Vayotzar is an expression of Tzura, that Aaron formed in the gold with a tool. He already said that. He brings another expression. Why do we need that? What's missing? And the Rabbi says, and he adds further, like a pen of a scribe that engraves. Who even needed that? After Rashi already brought a proof that Vayotzar, right, can mean from Lashon Tzura, and Cheret is a tool through which you engrave, you already explained the meaning of the verses, of the psukim here, of the pasuk here. Everything else seems superfluous. Base. The explanation in all of the above is the following. This is mamash gavaldik. Hatam sherashi einoi mevi rai mi pasuk chumash hanal. The reason why Rashi did not bring up proof that the meaning of Vayotzar from Parshas Miketz nor from Parshas Boi, hu mipnei shebahem nemra tevazu bebeis reishin, because in both of these verses, here it's written Vayotzar with one reish. Tzuroir is two reishes. Tzururois b'simloisim is again two reishes. And therefore, ve'enoi chacha gemura, at least, it's not a full-fledged proof. Leparshoseinu she'ein ba'ela reish echad. Vayotzar. You have to appreciate digduk. Amnon, gam ha'pasuk d'malachim, ef shelahaviraya letevas vayotzar, that it means to bind. Why? Because ki hasam gufa ein hoichacha yosim hacha. How do you know that the word charitin in Melachim refers to a scarf? Now, if you already established that charitin means a scarf, then vayotzar has to mean to tie, because a scarf is something that you tie things in. But you have to establish that charitin means sudarim. That's not clear in Melachim. Devarim sheshach b'hem keshira. Lilamdeinu, for that, therefore, to teach that vayotzar must mean to bind. No, it's once you establish that charitim means a scarf, then you know Vayotzar has to mean to bind. But how do you know in Malachim you don't know that? Which is why Rashi did not bring the first the pasuk in Malachim. Lachin muchach Rashi lo havit chila, the pasuk from Yeshaya. Yeshaya comes after Malachim. But over there, when it says v'hamitpachos v'hacharitim, the Maida, that verse is speaking about the fate of the immoral women, that Hashem is going to remove their splendor from them. And the pasuk goes through many different types of ornaments. We're speaking about tachshitin that will be removed from them. Since they're brought down, juxtaposed one to the other. So cloaks. So what you're speaking about people that will have to disrobe from things that are fancy. So they're going to have to take off ornaments. Then the Torah speaks about taking off cloaks. And then the Torah uses the words v'hacharitim. So in the context, that's where you see charitim means scarves. Since the word charitim and mitpachais are juxtaposed. V'hainu sudarim. So now that we established clearly from the first time, dafka from Yeshaya, that charitim means scarves, that teaches that the word vayotzar, which is said regarding scarves in our pasuk, must mean to bind. Pashat. However, just that pasuk in Yeshaya would not be enough, because Einochanami shecharitim beloshin rabim, which is the word you have in Yeshaya, means sudarim, scarves in the plural. Avalachura cheret in our pasuk. For those people who understand digduk, you'll know that cheret in plural is charatim, not charitim. Verabim, the cheret hu charatim, reish mitakometz. For example, chesed in plural is chasadim. Cherev in plural is charavois mitakometz. And therefore, true, you found a raya that charitim means scarves. That alone is not enough to prove that cherev means a singular scarf. The only way we got to knowing that vayotzar means to bind is based on the pre-established cheret meaning a scarf, but we haven't proved it 100%, and therefore maybe Rashi Raya Nesefes Ma Pasik which taka comes before the pasuk in Malachim, vayotzar kikraim kesef b'shnei charitim sheboi nemar vayotzar b'yachas lecharitim. And here in the parentheses that they charitim is sudarim. We already proved in the plural charitim is sudarim, and there it says vayotzar. So there the vayotzar gavaldik has to mean to bind. Harei shevayotzar lashon kshira. So now that you know that vayotzar means to bind. So now here, vayotzar also means to bind. Once you touch vayotzar binding, then cheret has to mean a scarf. Binding goes with scarf. V'im kein gam b'pasuk dedan perush or perushoy kein kimai beinayu vayotzar vayotzar. Umizeh shebacheret sheb'pasuk dedan, which is connected to binding, al karchach tzarech liyos or tzarech loimer shehu lashon suder. Why don't we say charatim? So that's an exception. Cheret means a scarf, and therefore normally it would have been charatim. The fact that we find a nach charitin, isha, plural is not nashim. So you see the plural is dissimilar to the singular. Bas Bonois v'oid. Okay, avol perush them. Okay, so now first of all, the Rebbe beautifully explained why we needed to bring two proofs and why we went out of order. What's the problem with this entire interpretation? Gavaldik. Vayotzar oisoi bacheret. Aaron took the gold and he bound them up in a scarf. He bundled them up in a scarf. You know what the problem is? That behem shechadibur b'kasuv. Keep on reading the Chumash. Mekivin shevayotzar oisei bacheret. Hainu, the way we tie shehiniach Aaron oisoi, that Aaron put the gold in the suder, right, and the kashroi, and he bound them up. Comes out that what? Did Aaron make the egel according to the first Peirush? B'chlal not. He didn't engrave a form of a calf. He didn't engrave anything. He just put the gold together. Nimsa she'Aaron lo yasas egel at all. However, look at the next words in the pasuk. V'imkein ha'kosav la'achrizeh. Look in the pasuk. We're looking Lamed Beis pasuk Dalet. Vayikach biyadam, vayikach miyadam, vayotzar. I'm reading the Chumash. Vayotzar oisei bacheret, vayasehu egel maseicha. You know, he took it, he made it. It's the same he. According to this Peirush, it doesn't flow because according to this, Aaron did not make the egel at all. Oh. Nimsa she'Aaron lo yasos egel. Ve'im kein ha'kosav la'achrizeh vayaseu egel maseicha lo yikoi al Aaron. Now, Elama, what will be the pshat? Don't forget, this is one of the Pirushim and Rashi. The pshat will be kiim al either the machashvei erev rav, right, the magicians, right, from the mixed multitudes that came up with them in Mitzrayim, or referring specifically, Rashi writes all this, referring to Micha. Kid the Pirush Rashi lahalon. Only thing is, the pasuk doesn't flow. Nimsa shereisha the kra, the beginning of the pasuk and the ending of the pasuk is not referring to the same he. The pasuk begins vayikach mi yadam. He took from their hands vayotzar oisei bacheret, and he bound them in a scarf. All of that is referring to Aharon. And then, according to the Peirush, the Seifa, which are mamish the next words, vayaseu b'lashon ister kibereisha. It's not saying who. It's hiding it. He. But it's the same he. The egel maseichel goes on someone else or on the Erev Rav. Nish good. Va'af shebahar b'mikrois kotzri haloshin she'edim afarash mi ha'oisa. We're not questioning on the fact that the Torah doesn't spell out who did it. Many verses don't tell you who did it. Mikol makim, the problem here that is more than usual. Doichak lefarish behemshach hakasav echad. It's difficult to interpret in the same pasuk. Kifi shehu benidin didan. That shalatzadodem katani. The he in the beginning goes to Aaron. The he later goes to Micha. That's the reason why Rashi brings another Peirush. Lachin Peirush Rashi Peirik Sheni. That Vayotzar means surah. There was a form that was made. And the he, taka, goes on Aharon. Bacheret means a tool, like we said, there's an instrument. Kliyum Nasatzarfen, a goldsmith's instrument. Shachartzin v'chartin by tzuras oisius. Right, they engrave and they used to carve golden or images in gold. Now it flows. Vayasehu. Aaron engraved, and Aaron made it into a egel maseicha. Hakavanali Aaron. So that answers. So why didn't Rashi just bring that? You know why? Not from pasuk here, not from Lamed Beis Dalid. Harei lekaman Lamed Beis pasuk Chav Dalid. Let's go to pasuk in the Gutnik Chumashim. We're flying to page 570. So Vash state in pasuk Chav Dalid that va'oimar lohem. This is Aharon telling Moshe Rabbeinu what happened. I told them, Limizov, hisparoko vayitnu li. This is Aaron speaking about himself. Vo ashli cheyu ba'esh. I threw it into the fire, and out of the fire came the egel. You know what's mashma from this pasuk? That he did not engrave any egel form before he threw it into the fire. All he said is that I got the gold, and I threw it into the fire, and out of the fire came the egel. There it's taka mashma that Aaron did not make the egel. That goes against the Perish Hasheni. Right? No, clearly Rashi teaches over there. I didn't even know that the golden calf will come out. Narvas, it did come out. Harei mashma, she Aaron also say egel. Now, it could be that there's a great brevity, and the step of Aaron engraving in the gold is not mentioned. And the reason why Rashi writes is only according to the other interpretation, to the first one we are learning over here, that Vayotza means he bound it in a scarf. No. Says the Rebbe, ki pashtus ahem shechakosov, vo ashlicheyu, vayetze ho'egel mashma, shohoye zechidish be'enei Aharon. Omishum zeh muchrech Rashi lo havi geperish olive. That indeed she'ein boy makim lekos yezu, because that's taka the perish olive, that Aaron did not make a calf. Aaron took gold, he bound it up in a scarf, and he threw it into the fire. Okay, Gimel. Al pi hanal yesh levay ratam lo makos of Rashi. Ke hagdama leperushay, like we asked, yesh letargamay bebeis b'shnei panim. And then furthermore, when Rashi goes into the details, he introduces the first ha echad, he introduces the second ha sheni. Tehine kesherashi koisev beis o yoser perushim mishum shehu mishum hakushi sheyesh b'chol echad mihem u'mesyashav al pi hasheni, which is the norm canal. Harei muven kimedum berkava pa'amim shahaperush abol l'rishoyno hu ikri. Turning to in the Sikha page 142. V'korav yosi al pshat. Rashi brings the first for a reason. The first one is the main one. Zoyse meres shakushya shebeperu shorishan is not as difficult. It's lighter, kala, than the kasha on the perush hasheni, which is why we consider the perush hasheni taka secondary. Amnan harei yitachen shalepa'amim sheshkulayseim. There are times that both are equal, and that's the case over here. Ve'ein perushu echad machriyas hasheni. No one has an advantage over the other. Equal kasha. Not that this one resolves almost everything, the second one resolves less, but at least it covers the first. No, sometimes they're equal. You can't write two things together. You have to write one before the other. But you want to make it clear that one is not better than the other. So lachin lishloil hatos, for Rashi to make sure that we don't make this mistake. Rashi is magdim betchilas devarov, an expression that includes and equalizes both pirushim, like benidim didan shehakosuv yesh loy letargamai b'shnei panim. You're making the word two means they're together. Shaven v'shkulim umamela muven she'ein aseder l'rishon v'sheni elam epnei she'yef shalahavim avasachas. We just explained above, Shakush al Perishu Aleph, who bazeh Shem Ahem Shechapasik, that from the continuation of this verse, it comes out, it looks like Aaron was the one that made the egel. Elamah, we said you can be Sheyesh Liyashiv B'doichik, Shizel Mitam Shekitzer HaKosov. Same exact type of question is on the second interpretation. Not on Pasuk Dalid, on Pasuk Chav Dalid. Same type of question. That can also be answered with a doichik. No, it's the question on each one is similar to the other. And vegamzu yesh liyashva b'doichik b'kitzer lashon hakasuv. In other words, it's a similar question, and they both can be farentret with a similar doichik. So there is no answer, there's no interpretation of Hayatzar Oisei B'Cheret that trumps over the other. And v'zohi kavanasei shal Rashi ba'amrei yesh l'targamai b'shnei panim. Mamash beautiful. Now let's go further. Yuvan al pizeh gam hatam v'adiuk b'zeh shebefaret es perushei ho'echad v'hasheni. He says ho'echad v'hasheni. Atkan we explained why Rashi says in the beginning that yesh l'targamai b'shnei panim. But why does Rashi weiter say ho'echad and then v'hasheni before the first, before the second pshat? Ubehegdem shalachura lama kosav Rashi ho'echad v'hasheni. And why not beloshin harishain v'hasheni? That's better grammar. Rishain and sheni. Shemasem yoiser b'mispar siduri when you are enumerating an order. Kigam bozeh kavanose lahadgish she'en kam peirush rishain. The word rishain also implies greater. There isn't a greater. V'hainu b'mayla ela echad. There's one, v'yesheni hadoim eloi, mishnei perushim, shaviyim, zoisoi meres, shahefresh b'neim hu, shem shnei perushim shoinim. They are two, only by they're two different ones, but not one better than the other. V'loi hefresh b'ma'alasam, l'fi pshuto shal mikra. So he dafka writes, ha'echad v'hasheni, to exclude ha'rishoin v'hasheni, which would have implied superior, inferior, and they're both equal. Ois dalad in the sicha. Ulam yesh lahakshis al perish hasheni. The words bacheret is also found in Tanakh, where it says, and Rashi actually quotes it, uksoiv olav bacheret enoish. Now the problem is like this: that me'achar shemafarish uksoiv olav bacheret. You're writing something with a engraving tool. Harei mashma se'ein ze keli umanois shechortzin v'chortin b'tzuras hazav. Writing, see, it's two different things. There is an instrument that's used for carving and engraving images, tzurais, but then there's another pasuk that uses this same type of instrument in the context of writing letters. So which one is it? Is it a engraving imagery tool, or is it a writing tool? According to the first interpretation, that cheret means a scarf. Don't forget, the first pedish was based on psukim. So true, we proved that cheret means a sudar, it means a scarf. Here in this verse, uksoiv olav bacheret, obviously this cheret means a instrument that carves out letters. It must be there are two cherets. Sometimes cheret means a sudar, sometimes cheret means a instrument that carves out letters. Avla perish habeis. It's a big doichik to say that there's three cherets now. In other words, there's a cheret, a scarf, and then there is one type of instrument that carves images. Then there's another type of cheret, all the same word, that carves letters. Not it means scarves, nor does it mean cheret, which is for images, right? An engraving tool. So Rashi right away answers this question. That shecheret einoi shem shel kli mesuyim. It's not referring to a specific tool. When it comes to a name of specific tools, without doubt, there is a tool. The tool that's used to engrave images versus a tool that's used to engrave letters is a different type of tool. And it would have a different type of name. But cheret is not a specific tool. Any instrument, and there can be many subcategories, but if they all share the commonality that they are used to engrave, whether an image, whether a letter, they are called cheret. Bazav, an instrument that's used to carve out images in gold. To use the word cheret, be'eit sofer ha'cheret oisius, in luches and pinkasim, right, in tablets and in registers. Maybe Rashi gam siyam ha'kosov. That's why Rashi continues and he writes, "Kamoi uksoiv olav bacheret enoish." He's teaching you something from the word enoish. Shadiok was enoish stam ubaloshin nashi shem enoish kolshu afilu enachacham. Right, we know that there are different names for mankind. Enoish, is a derogatory definition of men, because it refers to a person even if they're not wise. And that's the big difference. In other words, to engrave images, you have to be a chacham. It's a chachma. To engrave letters, everyone can know how to engrave letters. So he finds a pasuk where we're speaking about cheret enosh v'loy umandil el, to show you that cheret means a engraving tool. Whether it's used by a chacham and there you have to know what you're doing better and you're engraving beautiful images, or whether you're just using it to write a letter, that's called cheret. Like we just showed, right? You have cheret scarf. In specifics, you have cheret for a tzura tool, for a tool that engraves images. You have another type of cheret that engraves letters. V'oid sheshem echad hu lekli letziur egel u lekli lechsivas oisius. We're saying no, that you can use the same name, right, for anything aside that can be used to engrave an image of a calf. That's a gavaldik, a big tool, or a simple tool that's used to engrave letters. Lachin Moisev Rashi, a raya, that this is correct from Targum Unkelis. Vezeu shetirgum Unkelis, and now we're quoting the Targum, V'tzar Yasei Bezifa, and he fashioned it with a graving tool. Lachin Ziuf, hu klei umanois shechardsen by bazahav. Gavaldik. Oisi oisu shkedim, both letters. Shkedim doesn't mean almond. Shkedim means figures. And the name of this tool in Old French, balaz, is neo. Hainu shu keli hamishamesh heilik siva shaloisius vehein lacheritza siurim. Well, there is such an instrument that the same one can be used for both. Gavaldik. Shezeu perushe shal shkedim kan. They were also mishukadim there does not mean almonds. So Rashi goes on to say, in order for you not to say, there is actually, the Rebbe is saying over here, a keli that's used, keli hamishamish, for both, and that's cheret. A graving tool. He goes further. Not only does he want to emphasize that the word cheret refers to a graving tool, but he adds right, that seals are forged by the means of it. Shalache nikra bezifa, from ziuf, hakeli nikra al shem, hapu'ula hal nasis al yadai. And that is ziyuf. In other words, ziyuf refers to an instrument that accomplishes a seal. The name of cheret, there is taka, an instrument. The same instrument is used for different types, images and letters. That's why it's called cheret, because it's giving a name based on what it affects. So a keli that affects a forgery is called zifa, and a keli that affects engravements is called a cheret al shem harashima. Valpize yuven mashe Rashi b'siyumay mahapech haseder da'adato. No, it's now he changes the order that we had until now. Now he says first oisius and then shkedim. Ki ziyuf shayich be'ikroi ba'oisius. Forging is more connected to letters than to engravings. That's when people forge. But again, the Rashi brings all this to point out that you shouldn't be bothered with cheret can mean one type or another type. Actually, there's an instrument, any instrument that affects engraving will be called a cheret instrument. And that's the vayotzar oisei b'cheret. Okay. The second interpretation is b'chlal not understood. Haloi mitoichen aksuvim gam lefi pshudah shal mikra nira v'nikar goydel kedushas v'tzitkas Aaron. When you read the content of the whole story, we see the greatness and the holiness of Aaron. And ve'eich ef sheliyos sha'Aaron ba'atzmai tzor tzura so egel vayaseu egel masech al vayde zara. Bishleima, according to the first Peirush, he didn't make any. He didn't make an egel. He just put the gold together. He bound it up in a scarf. But to say that Aaron did it, v'yivor zeh be'egdem sheyesh lahakshis kushazu gam b'negei l'chol b'nei Yisrael. Zman kotzer lifnei zeh omdu likras u'elikim be'Har Sinai. And Vishamu Asaras Adibros, which includes the Tzivoy, the Noichi Hashem Alekecha v'goymer, and the second commandment, Loisas Elocha Pesel v'goymer. Not only did they hear the two Dibros, v'gam ro'u es hakoilos, and as Chazal tell us that it came midal druches u'min hashamayim min haaretz. Ve'eich yitochen she'acher kol hagiloim ha'elu yala al datum lasis avodah zara. In the Va'af Take, we know that the Psatim came, and Ve'irbe Ve'so'olam, he confused everyone, and Ve'hera Demus Choshech Va'fela V'Irbuvia Ve'chule, all of the what Chazal tell us, and they saw the bed of Moshe, and Moshe Rabbeinu appeared not to be alive. Still, Adain Kosher Ma'oid Lahavin, Shal Yedeza Tova Yerida Tzuma Kizu, Min HaKotzo Ha'elyon Ad HaKatzei HaTachtoin, Ve'al Kor Chach Tzarech Loimen. Shegam lefi pshuto shel mikra shezeu derech perush shel Rashi ho'inyan moving to the point va'at kedei kach that Rashi ain't tzarech lafarshi. Rashi never addresses this because there is no need. Why is there no need? So says the Rebbe like this: that mefurish because of when the parsha begins that vayar ha'am ki voisheish Moshe l'redus. Right, people saw that Moshe delayed calming down, goymer, and then they told Aaron asay lanu Elokim goymer. In other words, why did they ask for a God, Kaviyachol, to replace who? Atazoi. Not to replace God. Their kavanah was never to have a replacement of God. Ki zeh Moshe ho'ish asher ha'elonu meretz Mitzrayim lo yodanu meho yoloi. We don't know what became of him. Hainu shalei bikshu avodah zara davar sheyei b'makom shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu chas v'shalom. Ella, they wanted mashahu b'makom Moshe. That's why they began by saying Ki Voishesh Moshe l'redus min haaretz. That Moshe is delayed. The problem was that Moshe wasn't here. Umasha amru I they used the words Asay lanu Elokim Harei perishu miyad. They right away explained what they meant. She'en kavanasam le'inyan shel Elikus Ela rak asher yelchu lefanenu. What was Moshe doing? Moshe was leading us. They wanted something to lead us. B'makom shel Moshe, ki zeh Moshe ho'ish asher ha'elonu me'eretz Mitzrayim lo yodanu meho yoloi. Uch mevurash b'Rashi asher ha'elonu me'eretz Mitzrayim zakt Rashi v'hoyim moiro lanu haderech. Moshe Rabbeinu showed us the path, the way asher nalaba that we should go up on. Ata tzirichem anu lelikus asher yelchu lefaneinu. That is what they meant when they used the words Elokim. Al derech mashakasuv va'ata tiyaloi lelikim. Clear, right? Moshe and Aaron standing in front of Parai. There we see the word on a person Elokim u keperush Rashi, that it means that Moshe should be like the Rav, like the teacher, like the master, or like we find in another pasuk re'ei nesaticha Elokim leparai. And there Rashi teaches Shoifet v'roida, that you'll be his judge, you'll be his chastiser. In other words, we see in the Chumash itself that the word Elokim is not exclusively used for godliness or for divinity. Gavaldik. This is Gavaldik. Yidden never wanted to make it avodah. The fact that it ended up that way for a few people is a terrible thing. But that wasn't the kavanah to begin with. Ella shachar kach is nes chevu ksasam b'cheito egel. Some of them got soiled and they fell in the sin of the egel. Acha chashvu l'avodah zara mamish. God forbid. And indeed, the heim nanshu ba'oina shmisa. But that wasn't what people were asking for. V'af shaluchura gam b'zeh yesh l'tmai kanal. Eich amru shachu ha'egel yeh lahem moida derech. What were they expecting? That a calf of gold should be the one showing the way, and it should be like a sar, like Moshe, and Moshe was a man of God, Ish Elikim. Sha'olav nemar anoichi oimed ben Hashem ben Echem v'goymer eino doimer klal hanal ki be'inyan zeh yesh makim litois v'lachshev kein. Why here they could have made such a mistake? Ki kshetziva HaKadosh Baruch Hu lasis hamishkan shetoichanoi v'tachlisoi He hashras hashchina v'toich b'nei Yisrael uchamay shekasu v'asu li migdash. God is saying, V'shachanti, and I will dwell amongst you, harei royim she'ikrei shalam mishkan v'amigdash haya ha'aren. Including in that is the two keruvim. And as it says, V'dibarti itcha me'al hakapoiris mi ben shnei keruvim asher al aroin ha'edos. So we actually had godliness being channeled through Kruvim. Ubemela yesh litmois the hakruvim hein ke'ein memutza ben Yisrael HaKadosh Baruch Hu. More than that, says the Rebbe. Ubefrat al pi mashen isbar al pi mashen nemer. These are psukim that we have in Yisrael right after Matan Torah. When God says, Loi sasun iti, don't make with me Elikei Kesev, Velikei Zav, Loi sasu lochen. What does that mean? Uperush Rashi. This was not a commandment not to make an idol out of silver or gold. Rashi says that this goes on the kruvim. Don't make the 2 kruvim out of silver. Don't make more than 2 kruvim out of gold. People should, this is a commandment for people not to say, I'm going to make kruvim in a beis hakneses and a beis hamedrish, kederach shani oise bebeis ilomim, lokach nemer lo yisasu lochem. At kan Rashi. So fragt der Rebbe, ulechora me'eza tam yalal das lasis kruvim bebeis hakneses ubatim midrashis. Why would people even think to do so? The way we had it the beis ilomim in God's eternal home in the beis hamikdash. Acha kosov mazer b'loshon lisasum goymer lekei v'goymer. Here you see, that just like the Kruvim, they channeled godliness into the world, and indeed that was their function in the Kodesh HaKodshim, that there was a Havamina, that people can think, well, we should now make Kruvim in a Beis HaKnesses and let godliness manifest through it, not Chas v'Shalom ever to make an Avodah Zarah. Now, hold on, if God gave a commandment, so back to the question, so why did they want to do it? God gave the commandment, this event happened before God gave us the commandment of not making kruvim. The Torah, it's recorded on Parshas Yisrael. Perfect. Moshe Rabbeinu did not come down the mountain. We made it before he came down. We didn't know about it. However, the Rebbe is asking, if we didn't know, then why? Then how did we know that there was going to be kruvim in the Kodesh HaKodshim? That we knew. Right? That what? Look inside footnote 39. This concept that there's going to be kruvin was understood for them. And we don't find anywhere that we reacted that when God told us that He's going to speak to us through the 2 kruvim. That was understood for them. Number 2, the number 3, Kvar Perush Rashi Sheyadu Sheyitzavim Lasis HaMishkan. Shitas Rashi was, we knew about that commandment, and the Rebbe is holding that we already knew about the kruvim. We knew that there's going to be kruvim. What we did not know is God told us that other than in the Kodesh HaKodshim, in no other place can we ever have something similar to the concept of kruvim. We didn't know that. Oh, back inside the Pneim. V'lachein on top of the Amid 145. Ratzu b'nei Yisrael lasis eso egel b'tur memutza kezem. Right? And this explains how did Aaron make the egel, because the kavana was only to make some sort of memutza like the kruvim. Vav. Ubederech haremes yesh lo hoisef shezeu hamuchuven hanirmas b'teivois enoish. Right? The pasuk that Rashi brought, sherashi mivia gamkim in perusha dihine mevur berambam, that in the days of enoish To b'nei ha'adam, To's Godol, and Enosh himself made that mistake. And what was their mistake? Says the Rambam, that Amru Hoyel v'Elikim Barak Yichavim Elu Vikal Galam Lahanig Eso Elam Chuli. Therefore, they mistakenly thought Ru'uyin Heim l'Shapcham u'L'Fa'aram v'L'Chalik Lehem Kavod Chuli. They mistakenly considered these Kechavim and Mazolis as intermediators that have some sort of freedom of choice. Af shebe'emes einam ella kigarzon, like an axe in the hands of the chaytzev, which have no freedom to choose. Ukamoiken hu binyoneinu sheratzu lasis es egel lemamutza achem bevada yodu bnei Yisrael v'yaharan she'ein lemamutza kazeh shum bechira ubedum lakruvim. They knew that, but umizeh nishtal shalachei shal avodah zarah mamish, like it happened in Dor Enosh. God is mashpia the world, at least for the non-Jews, through the Kachavim Mazalis. What at a certain point people said, "Ooh, now we have to be machshavit mamish." That's what happened over here. The initial kavanah was only it should channel godliness. Later, God forbid, sadly, people made the mistake. Umizeh nishtal shalachei shal avodah zarah mamish b'kama b'nei Yisrael hainu lahachshiv es hamamutza kibal bechira. V'zeu shirashi meramis b'teresh enois shachet kan was bedugmas enois v'doiri Zion. V'hinei gamal derech halachem. So it's gavaldik. So we explained the pshat that there was no kavanah of making avodah zarah. We explained al pi remez that you see that whatever happened in the beginning of history repeats itself. That the mistake of avodah zarah begins when instead of people viewing as something that is channeling godliness and only giving chashivus and credence to godliness, you all of a sudden give some sort of credence to the channel. That's the step down, that's the mistake. Now let's go al pi halach. What's the kasha in parentheses? She'aron told the Yidden, break off your golden rings. Look at the words. Not give it to me, bring it to me. What's the difference? Give it to me means that I will own it. No, bring it to me. The dayik loimer sherak yoviu elav esazav avaloy sheyitnu loy, and halachically that makes all the difference in the world. Hainu shegiloi datoi Aaron was revealed his intent. Ki einoi roitzel likrois esazav sheyasholai. He did not want to acquire it. B'meila yuven sholai kor esazav. He taka did not acquire it because there's a rule. Ki I efshe she'adam yikna davar neged ritzoynei. Ubefrat shegam heim amru loy melachatchila, page 146. I say lanu, make it for us. Aaron didn't want to acquire it. They never wanted to give it to him. The nimsa halachically shahazav nishar beba'alusan shel bnei Yisrael gam be'ei she'asa haran esaygal. Step number one halachically, the gold did not belong to him. Now step number two, v'klal hu b'halacha that ein adam oiser davar she'eina shaloi. Person cannot prohibit that which does not belong to him. Ulefi zeh Asi Yosef Shalaharoin halachically was unable to aser the gold. Chevra, the footnotes in this amid is gold. We can spend a week on it, but we have another 50 minutes to finish the sikha. But this is the rule that since it doesn't belong to Aaron, he was halachically unable to aser it. And therefore, if he was unable to make it into an avodah zarah, so therefore there was no isur of avodah zarah. Right, the Gemara in avodah zarah that Amar Achmana, God told the Yidden that when we enter the Holy Land, and deer, their trees, their ashera trees, tisrefon be'esh. Hold on, who served those trees? The Goyim. But we just gave a rule that ein adam oiser davar she'eina shaloi. And the Gemara asks a question: to whom did the land of Israel belong to? The Gemara is asking. God gave it to Avraham Avinu. Umichdi Yerushahi ba'avoisayim. And therefore, the Goyim that lived there didn't even really own it. So the Gemara asked the question. So the ein and based on the rule the ein adam oiser davar she'eina shaloi. In other words, the Gemara's question is: why would we have to burn the ashera trees? They were not avodah zarah. It wasn't theirs. And like Rashi, the Rebbe quotes the Rashi in the Gemara. The land and everything connected to the land is Yerushalayim Yisrael. He ma'avoisayim chuli. The goyim shebo achreichen lo yuchlu la'asram b'ishtachava chuli. Answers the Gemara. Ella mi the pochi Yisrael egel. Imagine, since the Yidden in the Midbar worshipped the egel, golu adatayu, they revealed the nichulu b'avodah zarah. Sadly. And therefore, when the Goyim came in Israel and they bowed down to the Ashera trees, we viewed the Akum, Shlichusa diduhu avdi. Obviously not real halachic shlichus, ain't shlichus la'akum, but this is the Gemara in Avodah Zarah, that since we were megala our das by bowing down to the egel, they now are viewed as our shluchim, and they do have the koyach to aser the asherah trees, which is why we had to burn it down. Umacha b'Gemara, hold on, v'dilma only be'egel hu denichalahu. Maybe, but the mida achrina lo nichalahu. So the Gemara answers, it's no Amar Kra, that sadly those few people that made this terrible mistake, when they didn't say in the singular, you the Egel are the God. They said gods. They said Lashon Amim. Amar Kra, Eile Eloikecha Yisrael, these are your gods in the plural. Melamed, she'ivui, that they desired many gods. Oh. Harei, says the Rebbe Chazin, and we see the Mekiven she galu ad tayu deni chalu b'avei zara alei ho egel shaper yachol gam mi she'ena shaloi la'esor. So now asks the Rebbe, that's the Gemara. So now the kasha comes back, because we were trying to give a halachic answer that since it was not Aaron's, he has no koyach. Hold on, if him kain gam Aaron asar l'chura egel. Aaron did have the power. We're speaking about the second interpretation, that he actually carved a image into it. And we're speaking al pi halacha. You can't say that since it wasn't his, he had no power to make it into an idol. The fact that the Yidden worshipped an egel is megala that they did want to have an avodah zarah. And therefore, l'chora, af she'ena shaloi, the af she'hoy is a koydem amirosim ela lekecha, even though the truth be told that they only bowed down the egel after Aaron made it. But the Rebbe says their statement later that this is your God's Israel reveals it's megala, right? Ha'amira eina ela megala datayu. But these people, these few people, had that intent from the beginning. And l'chura, if they had that intent, then Aaron should be able to, God forbid, aser it into a avodah zarah. So the answer is the Rebbe, you have to know how to learn pshat in the Gemara. V'yuvan zeh behegdim. The Rambam writes the following: that Yisrael shezakav levena. If there is a brick and a Yid stands it upright, with the intent of bowing down to it, but he doesn't. However, he did a maisa that was megala that he wants to serve it out of avodah zarah. Uba akum, and a guy came and he bowed down to it. Says that Rambam, asra bahana'a. Why? Look at the words of the Rambam. If we would have learned the Gemara the way we learned it until now, then the Rambam should have written, because the guy bowed down to it. How can the guy ask for something that's not his? The Yid was megale that he wants to. The Rambam doesn't write those words. The Rambam writes the words because the Yid stood it up. The Rambam doesn't speak about the das of the Yid. He's speaking about the maisa of the Yid. And uluchura ain't a moving. Mashakasav, why does the Rambam write sheziki fasa maisa? The marker of the Rambam for this halach is our Gemara. And in the Gemara is mavur that the reason why the Gemara gives this case that you're megala, you're das, and therefore v'chiyasi akum apalach, as we just mentioned by the egel, shlichus adideka of it. No, the question is hainu shahazkifa mahani mishum gal yadaite sheba. So why does the Rambam or my tam nakat that the Yid made a maisa? The Yisayim Mizu asks the Rebbe, Sfarazu ki dai begili das lechud lechura. That is the main chiddush of the maskan of the Gemara. You have to have time to learn the Gemara over there in Avodah Zarah Daf Nun Gimel. If you go through the sugya in the Havamina, Sheho Efsharush Lo Oisra B'Avodah Zarah Tului B'Tfisa Sidei Adam. Fakir, that was the Havamina. Oz Hareza Shaykh Li'in HaMaisa. She'al Yedei Shezakva Asa B'Maisa Ubozeh Chalaba Tfisa Sidei Adam. But when you go through the sugya and the Gemara changes, and we come to our maskana, and l'chora, the Gemara says in the maskana that standing up of this brick is rak gilui das the nicholei, and not because of the maisa. So then minol leil harambam letloisay lahalacha, like in the Havamina. This answers the Rebbe shemekoyrei shal Rambam hu misugis hagemara hana. Look in the Gemara again. The Gemara that we just quoted, that how did the goyim aser the asherehem? Why? Not because we were megala das that we want to do avodah zarah. Mida polchu Yisrael le'egel, because we worship the egel. Maisa galo adatayu denichlo avodah zarah. Now, te'im nemar shegilui das gereida b'loi ma'isa mahani. If that's the meaning of the maskana, harei ein lanu gilui das. More by the fact that they said what they want. Asei lanu, God forbid, a God. V'lama leila hagemara linkot midapalchol ha'egel. Uladayik that shebozeh golu adatay denichlam avodah zara. We were megala das before we bow down. Umizeh muchach is the Rebbe mechadish over here that shegilui das denicholu ba'avodah zara, which is taka de maskana. It's not the gilui das in itself that does it. No, that gilui das has to happen through a maisa. The einay must be gilui das ba'ofen acher, page 148. Udaloi kenal shegilui das rak megale machshavte shelifnei zeh. No, it's a gilui das through a maisa. V'zeu hadir k'lashon hagamara mi de polcha yisrael le'egel b'maisa le'poil shedafka b'ofen zeh mahani gilui adatayim. No, you have to have gilui das, but it's a gilui das that comes about through an action. Tenichlu b'avodah zara umizeh shemesayim sham b'gemara. The bozes sha'amru eila elekecha Yisrael gilui datam denichlu gam b'shar avodah zara. Ain't a kavana that the amira for itself is enough of a gilui das. No. The reason why the Asheris became Asher is because they didn't bow down to the Egel. The mice. Maybe they only wanted to bow down to the Egel by the fact that they said Elik B'Lashon Nabim, so they were Megala Das that their mice was for all types of Avodah Zarah. Ela Shamir Zu Pershu Hakavanosem Behamaise that Shezeh Shepolcha Lo HaEgel is Nichalahu not only in the Egel but on all Avodah Zarah. V'Zeu Tami Shal Ramam Shepir Shevihidgish that says kifasa maise and not gilui das. And now Pizah Yisashev betuf tam oidian hadorosh biur begamara sham miboyle. Hey chashuzakav beya. If a person stood up an egg, see when you stand up a brick, it's easily discernible that you did a maise because the width and the height are different dimensions. An egg, if you move it around, sometimes you won't even notice if you stood it up or not. So that's the Gemara's question. Shuzakav Beisil Shachvar's law, same concept. A Yid, God forbid, had a machshava to worship it, and he prepared it. But v'lo yishtach, and then the guy came and he bowed down to it. So the Gemara asks, why is it different than a brick? So the Gemara says, Leveinuhu the minkaras kifasa. By a brick, you can notice that you stood it up. Like Rashi says, Sherachava yoiser al avia. Uchshehiza kufa niris gavayet looks taller. When you stand up an egg, it doesn't even look taller. Aval beya loy oidam loy shnam. Uluchura says the Rebbe imho ikaru agilui das. As people erroneously understand the maskan of the Gemara, l'may nafkamina im minkaras kifasei loy. Harei al koparim yesh kan gilui das shenichlei b'avodah zara. And furthermore, hikshu achrein, the Rebbe is quoting over here from the Binyan Shlomo, from Shlomo Kluger. Now what? Harei mefurish b'Gemara dafilu amiras eila elekecha Yisrael. Yesh bagilui das denichlu b'chol avodah zara. Ve'im kein kol shchein b'pu'ula of shezakav beyam. The Gemara says that since they said the words Eila Lekacha Yisrael Nichodatoi, that they don't mind serving in an Asherah tree, so clearly, and no one even worshipped an Asherah tree. So why isn't standing up an egg at least as saying words? Gam Shaloi Minkaras Kifasa Shadaya Lios Gili Das Mao Hasofik He Taka has a kasha. So the Rebbe says, Val Pihanal also Shapir, that what that Haboy the Gemara he la achar dinoktin and haiklala. That what shebagilui das tzarich liyos gam maisa. Fakir, you have to have a maisa through which the das comes. Now you can ask a question: what happens if it's a maisa that's not discernible? Yeshlachkar beim loy minkaras kifasa she'ein zela maisa zuta. It's a small action. As far as gilui das, it doesn't make a difference what you did. Saying words, certainly doing anything. But if you have to have a maisa, im have a begeder shal maisa hamoyel oiloi ki muven sheyesh makom lachalik be maisa rabba la maisa zuta if maisa is needed. V'gam ein leichich ma'amirasan eila lekecha Yisrael me'achar shehoyesham gam maisa b'tziruf amirazu. There was a maisa, they bowed down to the idol. V'adibur rak perush what they're doing. V'al pizeh in parentheses the dafka giludas sha'al yidei maisa Ha'echad is then when he's nice and koyach la'asheni la'esad avasheni shaloi, coming back over here, yuvam in the dan, the mitzat hadin, loy hoyo yochol laharin la'esad esoegel. Why? Like we explained, mi pa'as shayoisoi eina shaloi. It's gavaldik. We know that they already were intending, few Yidden were intending to worship it. Gilui das in itself is not. You have to have a maisa. The maisa was only done after you made the egel. Ki be'esas yosei adayin le'polchu laha egel. Ubeloi maisa ein gilui das gereida maspik sheyuchal esod avashen shaloi. So halachically, Aaron was unable to make it into an avodah zarah. Let's go weiter in Ches. The more we go on, the more we will see that Aaron did nothing wrong. Yeah. The problem is that Rabbi is going to say it himself that when you read the Chumash, from the way Moshe criticized Aaron did do something wrong. Let's go right. V'oid yeshleim b'zeh lefi psak Rambam she'ein adam Yisrael oisad davar she'ein shaloi she'ein kavanosoi elo litzaroi. Here we are quoting a Rambam in the Chashchita. Wow. Yeshleimer that since a Yid only has intent to make another Yid, which is not nice, for him to be worried that something happened bad, but he never intended to do something asur. So by a Yid, there'll never be a Gilui Das. Gilui Das will never help. Shenoimer, for us to say b'shvil zeh shemischavanu le'isur. We can say what he was megala was only to make the other person have tsar. Ki Gilui Das moyel rak sheyochel le'esur. Gilui Das only says that since I was megala Das, you are able. I'm the balabas, you cannot answer something that's mine. So if I'm a galadas that I like it, so I'm not preventing you of you doing it. Avol harei oimrim shloi neschaven lo'oiser. But when a Yid actually does something, then we say b'chlal, we don't even think that they meant it. They only did it to make someone else think that they're doing something wrong. That she yesar ho'egel adei Aaron. B'kiven shaloi hoise kavanasa le'isur. Aaron, you're speaking of Aaron. No, they own it. Let's say that their Gilui Das was Taka Gilui Das, and the Maisa they did later affected retroactively the Gilui Das. That means that if Aaron would have wanted, God forbid, he could have made it into an avodah zarah, but Aaron didn't want to do it. Shebeferish Amar Lahem, Aaron told him Chag Lashem tomorrow. V'noisiv l'cholanal nachazach haribin in didan lehoyu gilei das mefurish denichalu be'egel kaidem shepalchay. Like we mentioned, kizeh she'amru lefnei asay lanu elikim loy ba ela al tzatu usam. No, these were words based on their mistake, like we mentioned, that we don't. Where's Moshe? Lo yodana mahayaloi. Since the whole egel was to represent Moshe, because we don't know what happened to Moshe, it's as if they were making this into an avodah zarah on the condition that if Taka Moshe is not going to come back, then it will become an avodah zarah. Had they known what would have happened to Moshe, or besignu nachar hatam she'oiser hu. Why is one able, even if one is able to aser? Mishum the shlichosayu ka'avid. Upshita the Aaron lekibel alatzma shlichazu. Because Aaron didn't want to do it. Aaron didn't take it upon himself, even if he would have had the power to do it. The Yidden themselves, like the Rebbe just wrote over here, since they didn't know what happened to Moshe, skilo they're making it al tanai. Had they known Moshe is coming back, they also wouldn't have made it. Which is, that God forbid to avodah zarah, which is that filu imhu atzmoi liasa avodah zarah mikol makim nichshulu al yodei kama v'kama b'nei Yisrael. People did stumble in the Isra of avodah zarah, and isn't that l'chu'ura that Aaron violated lifnei iver le'sitin michshel? For over l'chu'ura alalav the lifnei le'sitin michshel. Ubefrat, there's a machlekes. How do you view the lav of lifnei iver? Is it a general lav, or is it that every single violation has in it a lifnei iver aspect? If it's a general lav, which is a terrible thing, then someone who somehow was machshel another yid violates lifnei iver. But if lifnei iver is a detail of every sin, then the lifnei iver of avodah zarah is connected to the sin of avodah zarah. So Aaron l'chu'ura violated lifnei iver of avodah zarah. Ubefrat lahadeya she'eno yisur klali. Kiyim prat biha iser shabayu machshal as chaverei. Ubemela l'chuura over befrat echad iser avodah zara. God forbid, page 150. Vaterutz l'chuura pashut. No. That al ha'isur, the lifnei iver, loisitin michshol, nitztavu b'nei Yisrael, and Parshas Kedoshim. A lot of time after the story of the Egel. V'al kol panim, at least they heard about it after Moshe Rabbeinu came down the mountain. Ubemela be'es maiso ha'egel lo hoya b'zeh isur. So now that the Rebbe explained all of the reasons why Aaron didn't sin, not even lifnei iver, the Rebbe just acknowledges, Avo le'mash mekei nitainis Moshe. But from Moshe's Tana, complaint on Aaron when he told him, right? Now she brings it down. Right? Aaron's Miriam, right? Ephrat, also another name of hers, married Kalev, they had a son, Chur. Chur was killed. We were commanded to keep law and order. And who was in charge of keeping law and order? Specifically, Aaron. On him and on Chur did Moshe Rabbeinu say before he went up to the mountain, Mi bal devarim yigash aleim. In other words, there was an expectation, and there was a taina that he had against Aaron. Sai for the sin of the Egel, sai for the fact that murder happened. So there is a certain amount of guilt, va'oid and v'tzarachin b'kolz. Okay, so the Rebbe was gewaldigly malamed schus on Aaron, but acknowledges that there is a taina that Moshe Rabbeinu had, and we have to understand exactly what the feeling was. Okay, me'ha'inyanim the yeina shel Torah. Sheva perush Rashi dilon. Bevor bekama mekaymes shemetzius hachet, and certainly chet God like avodah zara. It comes mizeh shebedakus the dakus yeshnei makar avodah zara b'kedusha. Have to listen to these words. And what is the source of avodah zara in kedusha? V'hamakir b'kedusha al chet avodah zara is pirud me'achdus havaya. Where do you find that in kedusha? Hu inyan ha'ischalku sheyeshnei b'tayra gufa. The fact that you have two pirushim on one pasuk, that's already a division. Hainu zeh sheyesh lefarish inyan echad b'shnei erfanim, and ad sheyeshnam shivim panam b'tayra. Eno b'chisvei arizal mavur sheyeshnam shishim riboy pirushim b'chol inyan shebatayra neged shishim riboy neshamis umizeh nishtal shelo ha'efsharius v'nesinas makim lepirud, God forbid, me'achdos havaya. Now ve'ein hakavana, says the Rebbe chas v'sholem, she'inyan zeh is mitzad atzmai. It's not that the fact by itself that there are many interpretations to the Torah, that's a division. No. Noisen makim she'ishtal shemamenu chet Apirot avodah zara chas v'sholem can be because Shahrei HaTorah hi ratzoinai v'chachmasa yizbarech and v'yaraisa v'kochbrichu kol echad and v'hu v'chachmasa yechad u'chashem shu achtos pshuta k'moikin hu b'Torah al kol chalakim shekula achtos gemara pshuta elad mishum sheyeshnam kama pirushim b'Torah nitenes ha'efsharus le'adam haloimda. We could make the mistake lintois ktsas be'eis lemudai miregesh ha'achtos ha'pshuta shebatayra, and temporarily we can feel something of division and pirud, and that is the makar al yedei ribu yishtalshlus v'iridois l'chet avodah zara rachmana litzlan v'al derech she'amar razal al pasuk v'nase adam that kivin she'giya Moshe l'pasuk zeh amar lefanav Rabbeinu ha'olam ma'at onesim pischam pelaminim. At Tomei, I wonder, God tells Moshe Rabbeinu ksoiv v'haroitz litos yita. In other words, the words themselves don't lend to mistake. God acknowledges that people who learn, the people can make a mistake. Hainu the bezeh shekos HaKadosh Baruch Hu b'Torah, the inyan of Rebbe v'Yischalkus, niten pischam peh v'efsharis litos sheshtei reshui sem chas v'sholom avodah zara. Elo shemeida chadegam b'ma'amar azal zeh mudgosh the ein hakavana sha'atoyre mitzad atzmon lisenes makam litos. Elo sha'atos ba mitzad ha'adam ha'roitze ba u'kediuk chazal b'loshonim v'ha'roitze litos. Means it's our feeling. If we want to make a mistake, then we can make a mistake. The im nemer shamachuvan hu k'fi shenira l'chora shakadosh baruch hu tzivo lichtov nasa af im al yedei zeh yeh pischam peh lebnei adam v'hainu she'ein lachush gam im mishu yita. That means we don't care for people to make a mistake. God forbid. The words v'haroitza. What does it mean v'haroitza? Fakert. The kavana is God is telling Moshe Rabbeinu, I'm not writing it in order to make people make a mistake. Torah per se doesn't lead to a mistake. God acknowledges that if someone wants to make a mistake, they can make a mistake. Ela vaday da kavana bezel daik shto ze I efsher shto mitzad haTorah ki im mitzad sheyesh lefnei ze rotzin ha'adam litois va'al igen ze merames Rashi ba'amrei, coming back to our Rashi gavaldik yesh letargemai b'shnei panim. Remember the question we had in the beginning? Koloimer that ha'efsharus lepirud va'avodah zara, which is the chet ha'egel shebay hamadubar kan ba'al yedei sheyesh letargemai anything in Torah b'shnei panim. And Rashi doesn't say yesh boy, doesn't bother us that Torah has two panim. A person can interpret it b'shtei panim. Ki mitzad etzem mitziyusam shel beis pirushim b'Torah eines in asmakim lepirut kanal. Ela mishum sheha'adam haloi midyacham letargamai lefi tfisas soihu. Our erroneous way of grasping it in a way of division b'shnei panim v'lintais ma'achvas ha'pshuta shebaTorah through our mistake efshel ishtalshel mizeh ha'pirud ta'avodah zara rachman litzlan v'apiza yumtak shinoi halashoinois hameshamshois lepirutim shel beis pirushim, like we mentioned in the beginning of the Sicha, that Rashi mamish one after the other in the Rashi that we're learning on Vayotzer Oiser Becheret. Rashi writes the words echad v'sheni. In the next Rashi writes yesh oimnim. In the next Rashi writes the words davar acher. In three Rashis, one after the other, Rashi brings two perushim, but he uses different words to describe two perushim. V'sidurim perush Rashi. Bepiska zu in our pasuk. Koisev yesh letargmei b'shnei panim. In Mamash, in the next pasuk in Rashi, shegam ba yesh beish perushim, he writes the words v'yesh oimnim. In the third piska, he writes davar acher. So look at the gavaldik kerembes that Rebbe writes. Ki bohem ruma seder hayirida haba al yedei yischalkos v'pirut. Mitchila hu rak bebechinas yesh letargmei b'shnei panim. That's the most subtle of mistake. Sheha'adam eine margish ke de boy ha'inyan, the achtas in the Torah. And instead of a Yid experiencing full achdus and all the perushim, he's already sensing two. What's the one? So this one causes a step down. The next step is yesh oimrim. You're a yesh already. Shenirgash li yesh oimr. Achar kach nasa mitzius nefredes melikus called davar acher. Avodah zara. V'zeu gam haremes the beis perushim sheberashi la'achar hagdama sheyesh letargmei b'shnei panim perush orishen hu. Look at the first perush that Aaron didn't do avodah zara. Shekasher asazov besudar. All he did was he gathered the gold and he bound it in a scarf. Hainu she'ingen hazov chuli sheyesh loi koishroi besudar b'fnei atzmai. You separate it. You make it into a metzias. Zoi seimeres shechoishev koichiv yoytzim yodi yoseh esachayil hazeh. That's the dugma of yesh oimrim. V'perush habeis, no, he made a tzura sa'egel b'poil. Shemagrish es atzmi ki yeshu metzias b'fnei atzmi legamri bedugmas davar acher here, meaning a idol canal. Unakudas kol anal hi chesaroin bekabolas oil malchus shamayim. Te'im ze b'shleimois etzloi, then gam ha'toira yargish gam ba'toira, we will feel the achdus pshuta. In other words, if I see perushim in Torah, if I'm margish division in Torah, I lack Kabbalah soil. V'zeh meramesh Rashi beperushi el hateva shelifnei, that yesh letargamoi b'shnei panim v'yisparku loshoin perikas masa. The Rashi before the yesh letargamoi panim v'yisparku, so Rashi says loshoin perikas masa, gavaldik perikas masa, poire koil. Shemachashvin Torah mitzvos lamaso. See that? Ubemela porkim es ha'oil hazeh. Feeling that it's a weight and therefore getting rid of it, that's the hagdama to be metargim the Torah in two panim. And after that, isn't this amazing? L'shar ha'yiridos. Masha Inke knows what's the solution, that when the emunah and the Kabbalah soil, he b'shleimus oz lo yavoy gam lahaschol aso ingen. V'lachin motzinu shahanoshim v'hataf le'nitnu zov lo ha'egel, because ki etzlem hu amuna hu betoikiv b'yoyser u'b'meila lo yehoyu mokim etzlem la'avodah zara. Moving. What's the message? Shal yidei hachizuk in emuna and in Kabbalah's oil De b'shneim ein hischalkus. Both of these are feelings which don't allow to division. No, it's not Kabbalah's hamitzvahs. I'm a Kabbalah Olach Shamayim. It's one thing. I have emunah in one God. Mischazek gam ha'hergish. When a yid has the proper emunah and Kabbalah soil, this will fortify our feeling of the achdus havaya in all inyanim. All inyanim meaning that even when a yid learns Torah, and in the Torah there are taka kama v'kama pirushim. Margish be'ischal kazu dafke. Amitis achdus apshuta. Dafke through all the different opinions, he gets closer to achdus Hashem, and he won't sense a division, one opinion and another opinion, which is the beginning of the first step down. And therefore, with more emunah and more Kabbalah Malchus Shamayim, we don't even allow for the beginning of any sort of avodah zarah. Ayasher koyach.